So, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. It is episode number 50. I've reached that big 50. So, yeah, really looking forward to this one. It is Friday, the 10th of December, 2021. So, let's just jump straight on in. So, hi everybody, thanks so much for tuning in once again. Yes, it's episode number 50. 'Tis the season I've named this episode because I think we're all probably getting geared up at least for the wind down towards Christmas. I know I certainly am. It's Friday. We've got a couple of days. Well, I've got a couple of days left in work next week before I finish for the festive season. So really looking forward to that, and just tying up a few loose ends now before the break, and just kind of enjoying and lapping up all the festive spirit that's out there in the community at the moment. So yeah, really great times. I love this time of year. So yeah, anyhow, let's crack on with the show then. So usual format, I'm going to try and keep this one concise, as I say pretty much in every video, and never do. So yeah, let's just head on over. Let's start off with some community call-outs. Okay, so straight off the bat, obviously its festive tech calendar is still motoring through. So just a reminder to get in touch with all that content. If you head over to festivetechcalendar.com, scroll down a little bit, you can pick the day. So obviously we're on the 10th of December. So if we click on that, you can see the kind of sessions that are being released today or have been released today. We've got Have Yourself an Azure Container Registry from Philip Wells. We've got PowerShell and TrueNAS from Jerome Bazet Torres. We've got Azure is 100% highly available, or is it, from Peter DeTender. And we've also got It's Time to Sparkle, Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community with the awesome Izzy and Holly. So, I mean, that's going to be, it's a great load of content that's being dropped 10 o'clock GMT every day. And it's just been fantastic. I've not managed to catch much of the content over the last couple of days, but I'm going to backtrack through that, but so far the stuff that I've watched and consumed has been fun, it's been informative, it's cracking, so really thank you to everybody in the community for putting those contributions, and obviously for the organising team for the Festive Tech Calendar event. It's a superb efforts all around. So yeah, go and check that out. Click on a day and you get the links to all the various sessions as well. So yeah, huge shout out to the Festive Tech Calendar. So they are still raising money. So as Maria Anastasia has pointed out here, they are raising money for Girls Who Code. So if you head on over to the website or follow Maria Anastasia, follow Gregor, follow myself, we put links out to this. So please do head on over to that Just Giving page. Give what you can. It's for a fantastic cause, obviously, in memory of Abel Wang. So yeah, great event, great cause for fundraising. Please do give what you can. So yeah, thanks Maria for retweeting that out as well. And sticking with the theme of what Maria Anastasia is up to, she's actually set up a little bit of a page to get a Christmas letter sent out. So whether you've got kids or whether you're just a big kid at heart, get that form filled in and get your letter from Santa, all courtesy of Maria Anastasia. So great little festive feeling out there. So go and give that a shout out. Like I say, this has been retweeted by Azure Pirate, but if you head over to Maria Anastasia's Twitter feed, you'll get a link to submit your letters to Santa. And in other news, those of you that don't know about these podcasts or events, obviously I do a weekly Jonnychipz episode. It gets watched, thank you for watching. I'm not expecting to change the world as such. This is as much for me to learn and keep myself up to date with the latest goings on and kind of recollect what's been going on over the last week. For me, it's more of a therapeutic session, I guess you could call it, and you're just partaking in my therapy. I don't know, maybe. But look, there's some fantastic shows and, really informative shows that go out across the community from, community people, from Microsoft people. And, I thought I'd call out a couple of them. If you're not aware of them, I've been following these shows for quite a long while now. So, it always surprises me that the content and the kind of accessibility to people in Microsoft is kind of there, but the uptake always seems to be pretty, not to put a negative connotation on it, but it's pretty flat. There's a lot of stuff out there. And I completely appreciate, people have day jobs, people don't have the time, they have busy lives, family lives, and all that good stuff. But equally, I just generally feel that sometimes you think, I would have thought there'd be a bit more uptake, from the tech community in general. And maybe that's not within our own community, but it's maybe those people outside of the social media community. Well, however you want to frame it. Look, I know it's not for everybody. I know it doesn't fit into everybody's lifestyle, so I'm not having a go here at all. I just thought, how do we raise that awareness to kind of help others get access to this quality kind of information and accessibility to people effectively in the know, or that can help with particular issues? So first one up, obviously, this has come from the Testing in Production podcast, which obviously Jared and Pierre run on a bi-weekly cadence on the Patch and Switch Twitch channel. So, I mean, Jared and Pierre's show goes out, like I say, every other Friday generally. They've obviously, over in the US, there's been Thanksgiving, so there's been a few episodes missed and whatnot. But this is promoting the Azure Updates show. So if you're not familiar with the Azure Updates show, go and give them a follow on Twitter. I mean, it generally has, a lot of the various advocates from across Microsoft take part as hosting the show, kind of putting content onto the show. And this is on typically on a Friday as well. It comes out around about 3 UTC. So it comes out and it's a great show. So go and give them a follow and show some support, because I know creating this content, it's no it's no easy feat. I think I'm trying to say is that there is an element of planning that goes into it. There is obviously elements of time, research, and just to create and record and upload or stream that content. So it's there for everybody. So go and give them a shout. Go and give them a follow. I believe Rick Claus is on today's show. So go and give them some love over there and say hello and join in, because it's a great bit of content. And on the same note, with it being a Friday, we've got, I think, this week, so later on today, I think it's 5 p.m. GMT. We've got Jared and Pierre back on doing their Testing in Production podcast over on that Patch and Switch Twitch TV channel. Again, it's a bit of fun. It's it's more of a community involvement show, where topics are discussed and talked about, and it's a really good way of kind of just gelling together. Some other great community members tend to be regular chat appearances in there. So yeah, just thought I'd give everybody a bit of a shout out there, because like I say, it'd be great to try and boost these kinds of shows up a little bit, because I really do think they deserve it. So yeah, thanks Gerard for reminding me again. That's great. Moving on, so it's okay. So like I said, I didn't get to see a lot of the Festive Tech calendar over the last few days, but one of the sessions I didn't join live, unfortunately, was I think I was recording at the time, but I did watch this back afterwards. Fantastic session from Sarah Lean and Lisa Clark. They held an Ask Me Anything session, and it was really, a really insightful session, because I know, for people in the community, for people that kind of put themselves out there a little bit, whether you realise it or not, there's an element of pressure to a certain extent. You get kind of caught up in things with, you've got to think about how you say things and what you say, which is right, to make sure you're not offending, make sure you're being inclusive and all that good stuff. And I think, to be honest with you, Lisa talked quite candidly on this Ask Me Anything about, how that can affect you, through mental health and really through that exhaustion. I think it's fair to say we all have suffered from this from time to time. But I just found it a really kind of enlightening and open session, really talking about those, as much of the positivity and the great things that you get from community, that, unfortunately there is a slightly dark side where, it can affect your own well-being and things like that. So anyway, Sarah and Lisa, I think they talked really candidly and openly about that. And I'd encourage anybody to go and rewatch that, because it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of, not so much, yes, we all want to get out there and be positive and give as much great content back out to the community, but, how to handle that inherent stress and pressure, I guess, that kind of comes with it, an expectation to a certain extent, and should you feel those pressures? And if you do, how can you kind of recognize them and do something about them before you kind of hit that breaking point or that burnout point? It's always a difficult area to kind of discuss and talk about because, for a lot of people, it's very personal and, people may not want to talk about things like that. But anyway, I'd encourage anybody to go and rewatch that session. It's a fun interactive session that Sarah and Lisa had the other day. It's up on the YouTubes, so go and give that a watch. And so thanks to Sarah and Lisa for putting that together for us. Sticking with the theme of Scotland, the Glasgow user group have got their monthly event coming back in December, so that's great to see. It clashes with the Welsh Azure user group, so I think it's great. It's just double bubble, isn't it? There's a lot to choose from for the community, so it's great to see. They got some great speakers lined up as well. It's on the 15th of December. Like I say, it clashes with the Welsh Azure user group, so I'm not going to be able to attend because I'll be running the Welsh Azure user group. But go and give that a shout. Have a look. Check out which user group is going to be most befitting to your needs. But great to see that the Glasgow user group is back, coming back with a vengeance. Looking forward to that, and hopefully, if it's recorded, I'll get to watch that on a rerun as well. So go and check that out. In other news, great to see. I think it was actually last night. The UK AVD user group had their in-person meetup, which I saw a few pictures. I saw the guys and gals tucking into the pizza and beers there at the event. I believe it was held up north. I want to say Leeds. Am I right in saying Leeds? I don't know. If I'm not, tell me, guys, and correct me. But it looked like Shabaz's company hosted the session up in the offices up north. Looked like they had a great deal of fun. So it's really cool to see these in-person events starting back up. But again, we know that we're not out of the woods with COVID, and like I say, just kind of that whole point of being mindful and inclusive and making sure that others are comfortable. I think it's sometimes too easy, whichever side of the fence you sit, it's too easy to either just assume people are happy to go out face to face, and you may forget that people aren't. But equally, if you are on the other side of the fence where you're not comfortable being out and about, again, appreciate that people feel differently in that regard. So I think it's just all about being a little bit more understanding of each other, I guess. But anyway, it's great to see. For me personally, I think it's great to see that people are getting back out and about and, kind of meeting up again. But I do obviously encourage people to make sure they're doing that in as safe and considerate way as they possibly can for the obvious reasons of not wanting to catch COVID or go down ill with that, obviously. So anyhow, thanks for that, guys. Great to see the pictures up on the socials. Another quick one, tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but, those that know me know that I probably spend far too much money at the Pie Hut with ordering various bits and pieces. But it's great to see they've actually got a little bit of a Christmas gift section on there. So if you do have a loved one or a friend or a family member that is into their tinkering and playing with electronics and components and Raspberry Pis, head on over to the Pie Hut. I'm not sponsored, by the way. So go and check that out. And in other news, I did want to just shout out Elgato because I've had some really, really great news from Elgato. They're gonna help sponsor our monthly community quiz that I think a bunch of us have set up, starting off next year. So watch this space. Big shout out to Elgato for their help and support with that. Exciting times. That's all I'll say for now. Watch this space. And see what comes of it. And as soon as you see it, please do join in. Join in. It's going to be open for everybody, and it's a bit of fun, bit of networking, a few prizes, quizzes, and that virtual kind of get together. Because I think it's fair to say that across the community, a load of people, in all walks of life, in all different industry, tech industry places and technical disciplines, there's a lot of us that kind of speak together on a fairly regular basis, and it's great fun and really, we encourage everybody to get involved in that regard. It's not a closed group by a long shot. It's there just to kind of help encourage, support, bit of fun, bit of banter, as they say. So yeah, we're looking to kind of set up a regular monthly meetup, which is only there purely for networking and just having that little bit of fun hour, put a quiz involved, and get some cool prizes. So anyway, stay tuned for that. We'll obviously keep you up to date with that in over the coming weeks. Probably early next year. So thanks to those guys. So let's head on back over. That's the community call outs for now. Okie dokie. So I think what we'll do now, we'll just head straight back on over to do Jonnychipz on the side. So what have I been up to this week, and what we got coming this week on Jonnychipz on the side? So here we go. So first off, it is Friday. We've got another episode of In Conversation With coming out today. But huge shout out to Jan de Dobbelier. We had our Festive Tech Calendar session released last Friday on Oh My Posh, where Jan talked me through getting Oh My Posh set up on a nice clean Windows 11 machine, and we created a Festive Tech Calendar theme for our prompt. Head on over, go and follow, and follow along with it, and obviously download the Festive Tech Calendar theme. Why not? And get that installed on your machine. So go and rewatch that. You can head over to the Festive Tech Calendar YouTube channel, or my YouTube channel. It's there to rewatch. So huge thanks to Jan for a really fun and an informative session, obviously. So hope you get a bit of fun and some great themes on the go on your computers with that session. So like I say, tonight is a new episode, and we've got Mr. Andrew Brown. I mean, Andrew's such a fantastically great guy. It was really a pleasure to speak with Andrew. He's got so many fantastic ideas, really intelligent, forward-thinking, community personality. He spent so long setting up some fantastic training courses and training materials, all available for zero cost, effectively. And he dropped by, and we had a chat around a load of really cool, fascinating areas, from the concept of green ops. We talked about meta. We talked about the future technologies and where we're going. It was such a fun, enthusing conversation. So that's being released tonight. So please do join in and check that out, and let us know what you think anyway. So thanks to Andrew for that. It was fantastic to have you on. Looking forward to its release. In other news this week, yes, Azure Crazy Imran, thank you so much. Sent me my my own water bottle, Azure Crazy water bottle, which sits with me on the desk here. I just need to put some water in it. It would be helpful. So yeah, had my own. Go and check AzureCrazy.com out as well if you don't know of the channel. He's got some fantastic interviews with some awesome community members on that website, and yeah, huge thanks to Imran for sending that out to me. Really is appreciated. In other news, on In Conversation With, I caught up with Jürgen, so check that out. I think that'll be coming out next week, potentially. Yeah, next week, I think. I'm kind of, it's great. Jürgen's a fantastic guy. Obviously, I dealt with Jürgen and spoken with Jürgen on a number of occasions. It was just really great to have Jürgen and all my other guests in Conversation With on over the last year. And for me, I'm kind of reaching the end of my first full year where I've kind of done an episode of In Conversation With every week for an entire year now. It's coming up. I think I've got effectively 2 episodes left. One Christmas Eve episode, one New Year's Eve episode to fill. And I'm kind of, I welcome any feedback on this point, because I'm kind of torn about carrying on with the series or changing it to something else. So let me know what you think, because like I said, I've got obviously 2 more episodes left to do, and I want to make them poignant. I think for me it was about being consistent for an entire year, which I think I've achieved. Whether you understand why people like me do things like this or not, it's more about just trying to set yourself that goal and reach reach those goals. And once you've reached them, you've proved to yourself that you can do that, and you obviously learn a lot along that journey, along that way. You speak, like, for me, I've spoken to so many fantastic people. I've gleaned so much knowledge from those people. I've managed to stay true and record videos once a week. So this Jonnychipz video, weekly video, and of course in conversation with. Yeah, I'm potentially going to put it on pause in the new year, and whilst I think about which way to go, the jury's out yet. Let me know what you think. If you get to this point of the show and you're watching it, please do drop me some comments, whether that's publicly or DM. I'm really intrigued to get other people's thoughts on it. But anyway, thanks to Jurgen for jumping on. That'll be out next week anyway, so thanks for that. Other news, went to see the Bootleg Beatles. That was a fantastic show. It was quite uncanny, if I'm being honest, with watching that. And yeah, it was a great thing to watch, not being out to see live music in a while. And I've seen two gigs now over the space of 2 weeks, which is fantastic. Really, really happy to be out there watching shows again. And just to finish off what I've been up to this week, this tweet caught my eye yesterday, so I retweeted it, and it's really true. And I guess it's a time of year where you reflect on what you've been up to for the last year. But I think this is a really key piece of advice: to surround yourself with energy that takes you up, moves you up, lifts you up. Be around people who make you feel good. They will help you manifest what you want. So I think this is so true. I mean, I've come across law of attraction over the years. I've got friends that kind of stand by some of those law of attraction methodologies and kind of insights and thoughts and whatnot. But this for me was kind of true. It's basically saying surround yourself with fantastic people. And for me, that's what community is. It's about us all helping and holding each other up there, whether we're, feeling positive and running down the road, or we're feeling a bit flat and, need that extra kind of leg up. Try and recognize that in people. I think it's probably fair to say. Look around to all the people that you may be talking with on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Have you not heard from them for a while? Reach out, say hello, you okay? Ask people how they are, because, you probably don't realize the impact that has. So I encourage anybody to give that a go. And this statement holds true. So anyway, as deep as I've gone there, I think it's the time of year. It is the season. Tis the season to be merry, as they say, and reflect. So let's all try and do a little bit of that. Anyway, I'm going to get out of the depths of my philosophical ways, am I? Anyway, let's head back on over. Okie dokie. Right, so quick bit of news on the Welsh Azure user group. So let's just head back on over to the desktop. So yeah, like I say, we are unfortunately clashing this month with the Glasgow Azure user group, but 15th of December, starting at 6:30, we've got fantastic sessions lined up for you. Mr. Olivier Bloch is coming on to talk. It's IoT. It's future technology. It's that kind of session where we're going to get a chance to have a chat with Olivier as one of the awesome advocates in the IoT space in Microsoft. Such a knowledgeable guy on embedded systems and IoT, and just generous with his time to come on and speak with us at the Welsh Azure User Group. Really looking forward to having Olivier on. So if you are joining, please do join. Come with your questions. Come with that. There's no stupid questions. There are never any stupid questions. As silly or as stupid you think the question is, it's not. Ask it. It's your chance to come on and ask any questions to the likes of Olivier. Fantastic guy, great guy in the community and working for Microsoft. Going to have a great session across that space. So really looking forward to that. Obviously, bring the popcorn and the eggnog. Sit back, relax, join in with your questions as well. And if that wasn't enough, we got also the awesome Mike Pfeiffer coming on. So, I delved a little bit into kind of the depths of, what makes us be, how do we kind of keep ourselves motivated and, working along positive trends. Mike is just he's an inspirational guy, and I'm not blowing smoke, but he really is. I think from the kind of things that I've heard Mike discuss, talk about, present about, I couldn't help myself but see if, as a collective, invite Mike on to the Welsh Azure User Group to kind of echo some of those thoughts and feelings out to our audience. So it's going to be hopefully a really interesting session, in terms of making people sit back, relax, take stock and evaluate where they are in their careers and what do they want to focus on. And some great insights and advice on how to kind of get focused if that's what you feel you need to do. But I encourage, even if you feel you've got everything under control and set in place, I can guarantee there's something you're going to pick up from Mike's talk. So anyhow, come and say hello, come and join us. Yeah, like I say, it's going to be a fun-filled session. We've got a quiz, obviously. We've got some prizes on there, so stick around and take part in that. It's always a good bit of fun. We've got our resident quizmaster, Matt Fatunko, which he's always got some brilliant questions. I think I've learned now not to choke on my laughter when I see the questions for the first time. But yeah, going to be a really great event. Please do come and join us. Really looking forward to it. That's the 15th of December, so next Wednesday, starting at 6:30 p.m. That's GMT, so UK time. Yeah, okay, and on that note, if you've missed any of the Welsh Use Group sessions, they're all recorded. They're all in the playlists below. So go and have a little ponder. Just have a look at some of the awesome guests. I mean, even if we do say so ourselves, we've had some absolutely fantastic guests with fantastic content, and it's all there. They're all timestamped, all marked up for your consumption. So go and have a little bit of a browse and rewatch some of those things. So that's the Welsh Azure User Group news for now. Okie dokie. Okay, so finally then, I think we'll kick on with the Azure news and updates. So again, whilst I find my buttons, I'm always doing the same thing. Let's do the Azure news and updates section. And good afternoon and welcome to the Azure News and Update show. I'm John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and this is the Azure News this week. Okay, so we've not had huge amounts of announcements this week, but we've had a few. So let's quickly go through these now. A bit of food for thought. I'm not going to dwell on them as I normally don't. Might say a few comments on things that I'm aware of. But yeah, let's kick off then. So first things first, Defender for Cloud. There's been some GA announcements and public preview announcements, but starting off with the public preview, so we've got the ability now with Defender for Cloud to prioritize security actions by data sensitivity. So it's powered by Azure Purview, that's in preview. And we've got the ability to export snapshots for recommendations and security findings. So there's a couple of preview announcements for Defender. Like I say, there's been a whole heap of GA announcements for Defender as well. So I'm not going to rally through all of those, but go and check that out. And if you, obviously in particular, if you are looking for that Microsoft Defender for Cloud, there've been some fantastic GA announcements there. So go and check all of those things out now. Great to see some feature updates from Microsoft, as always, as every week. Okay, so public preview availability of VM, virtual machine restore point. So a couple of days ago, Microsoft announced that the public preview of VM restore point. So it's a new resource that stores VM configs and a point-in-time snapshot of one or more managed disks attached to a VM. So VM restore points support multi-disk application consistent snapshots and can be leveraged to easily capture backups of your VM and disks. So basically, you can easily restore that VM using one of those VM restore points. In the event that you do have any kind of data loss or there's a problem, a disaster, some kind of failure of that virtual machine. So they're also introducing a new ARM resource, so Azure Resource Manager resource called Restore Point Collection. So that will act as the container for all those restore points for a specific VM. So they're all going to be ARM resources. So effectively, you can get all of these set up through infrastructure code and things like that. So fantastic to see that's in public preview. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how that pans out and have a little play with that myself. Yeah, great work. GA announcement. So India Central. Availability zones has now gone generally available. Cool to see. Azure Machine Learning. So December 2021, general availability. So HashiCorp Terraform configuration templates allow you to deploy your Azure Machine Learning resources in a repeatable and predictable manner, along with other resources across Azure and other clouds. So it looks like they've got some Terraform provider in the... I'm presuming it's in the Azure Resource Manager provider for Terraform, the capability of using infrastructure as code now to configure machine learning workspaces. So that's cool to see if you are in that space. Go and check those out. Azure Monitor Containers Insights Preview version for Red Hat OpenShift version 4.x will be retired by the 31st of May. So, okay, so if you are using those, you've got a little over 6 months to get that sorted if you are using those at the moment. New announcement. So immutable storage with versioning for blob storage is now generally available. Okie doke. So immutable storage provides that capability to store data in a write once, read many, so worm state. So once the data is written, the data becomes non-erasable and non-modifiable. So you can set retention periods so files can't be deleted till after the period has elapsed, and additionally legal holds, things like that can be placed on that data to make the data non-erasable, non-modifiable until that particular hold is removed. So that's cool to see. So for those archives, those compliance reasons, you can now get that on blob storage if that's what you're looking for. New announcement. So Azure HD Insight Preview API will be retired. So if you are using that API from 2018-0601, you've got a couple of years, but just bear in mind if you have included that in any applications, functions, logic apps, anything that you're using that for, just remember you might want to start thinking about modifying that now to the REST API before the end of November 2024. So you've got a bit of time, but just keep that in mind. Generally available, Azure Communication Services has interoperability with Microsoft Teams. This is going to be quite cool, and I've thought a few times now that I wanted to kind of play with this and do a few demos for myself. So let's just have a look through this one then. So ACS, Azure Communication Services, can now be used to connect users of a custom-built application with users on Microsoft Teams via voice, video, or chat. So organizations and businesses alike can offer those customized branded experiences connected with Teams, where internal employees can benefit from the security, familiarity, and capability of Teams, and external users can enjoy the custom communication experience via a web page or a mobile app, something like that. So it's great for business and consumer scenarios such as healthcare, delivering remote care, finance advisors helping customers with loan applications, or support staff helping end users install new products, things like that. So, and as a bonus, voice over IP and chat usage is only billed to your Azure resource when using Azure APIs and SDKs, meaning that usage for Microsoft Team app users interacting with ACS is free. So if you're doing that, so that's pretty cool at the end of the day. So if you do have those Teams licenses and you're building those ACS integrated applications, then that kind of two-way thing between Teams and ACS is there's no charge. So really cool to see, and like I say, it's something close to my heart that I want to try and have a little look-see and play with at some stage. Okay, in preview, Azure Storage Attribute-Based Access Control ABAC conditions with principal attributes now in public preview. So, okay, in addition to RBAC, we've now got ABAC. So it builds on RBAC by adding conditions to Azure role assignments expressed as predicate using the various attributes on a particular object. So that's great. It's in public preview at the moment. And finally, we have a public preview announcement of Azure Storage. So secure access to storage account from a virtual network or subnet in any region is now in public preview. So you can access your storage account by enabling a service endpoint for storage in the subnet. Okay, so, and you can configure a virtual network rule for that particular subnet through the Azure Storage Firewall. So you can configure your storage account to allow access from virtual networks and subnets across any Azure region. By default, service endpoints enable connectivity from a virtual network to a storage account in the same region as a virtual network or its paired Azure region. This preview enables you to register your subnet to allow service endpoint connectivity to storage account in any Azure region across the globe. So pretty cool to see. So yes, that expandability, that expanse of accessibility is getting wider. So there we go. Anyway, that's the news and updates for this week. I've been John Lund. Thanks for watching. Okie dokie. So thanks so much for sticking around. We've hit the 35-minute mark now. So yeah, again, try to keep this concise, and it never ever is. But there we go, about half an hour. Look, thanks everybody for watching. We are on the wind down now to Christmas. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do over the next few weeks now with this show, whether I keep it going, or what. I don't know. The jury's out. I'm going to try and think of how I can rehash this thing. You know, might take it a bit quieter into the new year, but let's wait and see. Any suggestions or ideas, I'm all ears. Please do drop me a line. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for everybody's support over the last year, over the last 18 months. It's been really appreciated. So, like I say, I'm going to start winding down for Christmas now. So I'm going to see you before Christmas. I'll have another episode out or two. But, you know, please do, you know, think of family, friends, enjoy the Christmas time, have some downtime, wind down, recharge, ready for the new year. But until then, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all soon.